News. I'm Noelle Trost.
And I'm Leo Padilla. Keep watching for more news on Beverly's homecoming game.
And an update on hand sanitizer.
Hey guys, I'm the one and only Jacob Urbanian with this week's sports.
And I'm Alana Morgan with this week's fashion and entertainment.
Around the school in 30 minutes, this is the Norman News. Don't miss out on this week's Spirit Challenges. Yesterday was PJ Day, where kids came donned in their slippers and robes. Today is Jersey Day, meaning that you are, hopefully, wearing a jersey of your choosing. Thursday will be Tourist Day, meaning you should come wearing your Hawaiian shirts and your binoculars. Finally, on Friday, we have Blackout in our homecoming game. It's a busy week this week, so make sure to refresh your Jupiter messages for every update. Here's Leo with more homecoming news.
Thanks, Noelle. This week is homecoming week, which means Beverly Hills High School will be voting on homecoming royalty. Nominations are final, and all students have to do is go onto Jupiter Grades under Tests and Files and vote for who they want to be the homecoming royalty. However, this year, the royalty is different. Instead of being a king and queen, the elections are gender neutral, which means the two people that get the most votes, whether they are a boy or a girl, will become the homecoming royalty. This could result in 2 boys or 2 girls being nominated. The student body is very divided over this change, and many don't understand why the change even happened. Whatever the results are, the homecoming royalty winners will be announced at the homecoming game on Friday. Now to Jake with an update on the Dodgers.
Thank you, Leonardo. The Dodgers are killing it, plain and simple. Up 2-0 in their second National League Finals against the defending champs, the Chicago Cubs. The boys in blue continue to impress. Pitchers like Clayton Kershaw, Brandon Morrow, Rich Hill, Alex Wood, and Kenley Jansen continue to play outstanding this series. Let's see if they could finish the series off and make it to the World Series this year. But what about Beverly? Normans, today is the week to show your school spirit. The Beverly Hills football team take on their rivals, the Santa Monica Vikings, this Friday in their homecoming game. Going into the game 0-7, their hopes are still high to win this game for their school. And now to Alana with Kim Kardashian's thoughts in Selfies.
Thanks, Jake. Wait, Teen Vogue, Kim Kardashian said what? How shocking. Well, if you love taking selfies, it turns out Kim Kardashian has some bad news for you. I recommend you selfie lovers to close your ears for this one. Turns out 36-year-old Kim Kardashian thinks selfies are overrated. I know, shocking, right? Considering that she made an entire book on selfies. Where is she coming from? Well, Teen Vogue has told us all. In a preview for Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Khloe and her sister Kim are playing our favorite game, Would You Rather. Khloe asked her sister Kim, would you rather never be able to post a selfie again or never be able to use Snapchat again? And Kim's answer was extremely unexpected, as she answered, and I quote, I would rather never be able to post a selfie again, saying, yeah, I don't know, I kind of feel like selfies are a few years ago. But I personally think, Beverly kids, if you love taking selfies, no matter how old they get, keep doing you. Now to Riley with news on Jake Paul.
Thanks, Alana. As TMZ reports, Jake Paul might want to rethink all his pranks he does in public after a feud of him getting sued. It's all full of laughter and fun until something serious happens. As most of you all know, Jake Paul loves pulling pranks on other people, especially on camera. Unfortunately, one of the pranks Jake pulled is getting him in some legal trouble. A man in California is suing Jake Paul and his friends for driving around Melrose in LA while blasting a loud car horn near pedestrians who were not expecting it. In the lawsuit, the man claims that after Jake and his friends blasted the car horn, it ended up damaging the pedestrian's ear and hearing. He also included that his encounter with the Team 10 and the loud horn is included in the video on YouTube. So now the man is suing Jake and the company for an undisclosed amount of money for the injury and emotional distress. So Beverly students, are you surprised Jake is getting sued for a prank he didn't mean to harm anybody for? Now to Alana with this week's movie review.
Thanks, Riley. If you Beverly kids like fantasy and science fiction movies, I got one for you. A new movie called Geostorm will be taking theaters October 20th, 2017. According to IMDb, Geostorm is about the network of satellites being designed to control the global climate and take an attack on Earth. It ends up being a race against the clock to uncover and find out the real threat before a worldwide geostorm wipes out everything and everyone. Sounds interesting? I suggest you go see it. Some of the main characters include Abby Cornish, Jeremy Ray Taylor, Jared Butler, and many more. So grab some popcorn, sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's new movie trailer.
Skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Thanks, Alana. All right, Geostorm. What are you thinking, Leo?
It looks extremely over the top, and I think it's just going to flop. It has no plot. It's not going to do well.
Not at all. I think someone really got excited about their visual effects and really just wanted to do something with that. So this is their project for it. And I feel like we've just been seeing a lot of movies about climate change and horror. Everyone's going to die. It seems overdone. On that note, let's go ahead and send it to Adam with the loss of the great comedian, Sean Hughes.
Thanks, Noel. Sean Hughes, who was an Irish stand-up comedian, has passed away at age 51. Hughes had a very successful career, from being captain on Nevermind, the Buzzcocks, to having his own sitcom show. Several comedians around the world have paid tribute to him, including Jason Mansford, Katie Brand, and Al Murray. He will be remembered for inspiring many comedians, including Bill Murray, Sean Hughes. You'll be missed. Here's David with news on cigarette butts.
Thanks, Adam. And rest in peace, Sean Hughes. Don't you just hate seeing a bunch of cigarette butts lying on the floor? Well, they sure do in Amsterdam. In fact, 2 Dutch industrial designers have come up with a strange plan to train crows to pick up cigarette butts in return for food. Initially, the designers considered using robots to take care of the job. However, this posed many issues, so they therefore turned to crows, because they are so abundant in the area. Unlike pigeons, crows are some of the most intelligent species in the entire world, as they have the ability to plan and use tools to help them achieve their goals. The training process involves 4 steps. First, the crow will be shown a cigarette butt and some food on a tray, allowing the crow to associate a cigarette butt with food. Next, the food will be taken away from the tray and given only when the crow arrives at a machine called the crow box. The crow will then learn how the crow box operates, which automatically unloads food for the crow every time the crow drops the cigarette butt onto the machine. Lastly, as practice, the 4th step involves a human leaving a bunch of cigarette butts around the machine, allowing the crow to repeatedly keep on exchanging the butts with food by using the machine. The 2 designers are currently looking for ways to fund their experiment, as well as conduct research regarding possible harmful effects that the butts may have on the crows. Now to Alana with a new debate on Vans sneakers.
Thanks, David. Is it teal and gray or pink and white? It's like the dress debate all over again. Hello, Normans. Today we will be talking about Vans, not just any Vans. As Teen Vogue would say, the latest color debate with Vans sneakers. Everyone is pretty familiar with the dress debate that happened back in 2015, where people were saying that the dress was gold and white or they thought it was blue and black. Not only were people questioning this dress, but the dress also became internet famous back in 2015. Well, now, here in 2017, we have another debate, whether these Vans sneakers are teal and gray or pink and white, thanks to one particular Twitter user for posting what seems to be old Vans. Not only did she post this picture, but she also came up with a follow-up question. What color are these? And from there, a bunch of comments started flooding in. Many users believe they see pink and white, while others disagree. Turns out this photo actually has been out for a while, and the user said she owns no right to the photo, and it must have been taken with bad lighting, which may have caused the blue tint on the photo. I don't know, Beverly. What do you see? I see pink and white. Thank you, Teen Vogue, for the latest updates. Let's send it over to Eva with the dangers concerning hand sanitizer.
Thanks, Alana. A recent study has suggested that hand sanitizer is bad for you. Triclosan, the active ingredient in hand sanitizer, can kill off the good bacteria and allow antibiotic-resistant bad bacteria to grow, like other antibiotics you may take when you're sick. Some hand sanitizers contain chemicals that increase the ability of certain compounds to penetrate deep under the skin. If one touches the material containing the harmful chemical BPA, for example, it can linger on the skin, and the person could possibly ingest a double dose of it if they use their hands to eat something right after. There are many opinions on if avoiding hand sanitizer is worth all the harmful bacteria it does eliminate, and here's Layla with that.
Flu season is still going on, and students are getting sicker and sicker by the month. I sent out a poll on my Instagram story asking my followers if they use hand sanitizer as a supposedly safe backup plan. More than half responded with a yes and only a small percent with a no. Sadly, hand sanitizer is not the best way to beat the cold. It was reported by CBS Atlanta and a multitude of other articles that using antibacterial gel includes BPA, which is found to give you a higher chance of coming down with the flu and does more harm than good to your body. The situation gets worse when you pick up your hot meal or new pair of shoes and you slather on the sanitizer. Since receipt papers already have very high amounts of BPA in them, that just creates more of a chemical bath on your hands, and when the food comes into contact with your hands, it causes even more of the dosage to spread. Mr. Bradford, our very own librarian, has family involved in the medical field and said he's personally not all for hand sanitizer, and I agree. I try not to use it too much, and I'm definitely going to stop altogether. He stated to me that it is more effective to just simply wash your hands with good old soap and water. Hand sanitizer should only be used when you can't get to the washroom. In this case, the hand sanitizer should only be used in a dire moment. So please, ease up on the Purell, turn to the restrooms for cleansing, and let's send it to Leo with this week's weather.
Hi, I'm Leo Padilla with this week's weather report. Today, on Tuesday, we're going to have a high of 81 and a low of 66. Then again on Wednesday, we're going to have a high of 81 and a low of 63. Then it's going to start to cool off. On Thursday, we'll have a high of 77 and a low of 63. Friday is going to be the coolest, one of the coolest days, with a high of 73 and a low of 57. It's going to stay cool on Saturday with a high of 72 and a low of 61. Then we're going to start to heat back up on Sunday with a high of 77 and a low of 63. And then it's going to heat back up on Monday with a high of 79 and a low of 63. So it's going to be a pretty hot week, but it'll cool off a little at the end. With that, I'll send it back to myself. And lastly, be sure to check out Kbev's live broadcasting of the homecoming game on Friday on both YouTube and on Channel 6 for local cable networks. We will have full coverage of the game as well as coverage of the homecoming court ceremony and celebration.
Thanks for tuning in.
That's all for this week.
Tune in next week for more Norman News.